Hi everyone, it's Maggie and I'm here with a project share. I finished a fabric book that I've been working on for a while. It ended up being a little larger than they usually do, but I'm going to try to show you some of the details. I can't go over everything or it would take too long, but this fabric book I used quite a few antique and vintage laces and that I've had for quite a long time, and I wanted to make a book using those pieces and as much as I possibly can. The whole book is not antique, but I will point out the pieces that I found in antique stores and thrift stores that you can just tell, that they're pretty old. But anyways, this is the front of the book, and I have this beautiful image of this little girl, and here's where some of the antique pieces come in. This was a little girl's collar, and I did cut some of it. A lot of it was ripped and holes and that type of thing, but I was able to salvage this piece here, and then here's another piece of it that I just went around the outside of the image. Not here, underneath it. This is part of it also, this here and this here, and it's just so delicate, but even with the torn pieces, they're still beautiful. And this doily here is I'm not sure if it's antique, but it's definitely vintage. And then I went around the image with these tiny pearls, and then I added these 3 little flower pieces that I took off of an applique, and then I added tiny, let me bring it up, tiny pearls in the middle. And then this is a pearl and beaded flower from Wild Orchid Crafts. This flower here is actually from a doily, and they were squared doilies, and I cut them so that they resembled a flower, and I got these from Julie, the Thrifty Paper Garden. And then I added a pearl and rhinestone piece in the middle, and then this is a double flower applique that came from a trim from Craft Supplies for You, and I added a different type of rhinestone piece in the middle of that. And then I made some pearl dangles that my friend Kim Fuller showed me how to do. And I just put those kind of in the middle and underneath. And then this is like a half flower on the top here. And there's another rhinestone piece. And then this trim here that I covered the edges with is part of this square flower doily. And I used that to cover. Let me just open up so you can see the front and the back. Let's see. Okay, so I started off with this runner, and this is the complete runner right here. This trim here goes around it. So this was all one piece here. And then I added this trim here from those doilies, and then I added this piece here going up the spine. And you can see on each individual doily there's a little tiny flower. And that's all the edging of that little runner. And I just love it. It's just beautiful, and it was in beautiful condition. So that's the front and the back cover. And then underneath here, this is an antique crocheted piece here, And then I think, okay, we go to the next page. So this is the only one that I put underneath just to give it some volume. And then you're not going to see all the dangles you usually see when I make my books. I wanted to keep it in the same, you know, vintage style with just the laces. So I used this crochet trim to go around, and in the middle, this piece here is a vintage or antique piece. You can't see a lot of it, but it's got a lot of detail to it. There were some ripped parts to it, but you can't see. And then this is a vintage doily here. You can, I mean, it could be antique too. I'm just going to call I'll just call everything vintage because it's at least vintage, if not antique. And I don't know how many years difference that would be, but you can tell just by the way that it's made. And then I put a flower applique in the middle and a pearl and rhinestone piece in the middle of that. And then this is the pocket page, and this is another trim. Let's see, I'm not sure. I guess you just call it a crochet trim. And then I put this going across just for a little color. And then I added 2 flower appliques that I had green tea dyed. And then the piece that you saw on the spine went around the 2 pages for just to complete. And then up here in the corner is another one of those double flower appliques, and I put one of my clay flowers in the middle of that, and underneath is another doily, and then this dangle flower trim here. So that takes care of the pocket page. And then here's another image, and here's another one of those doilies. They're just they're so thin, and they're just beautiful. And I hated to cover it up, but I needed to put the image on here. And then these flowers here are all from an applique collar piece. I just cut them all out individually, and I added different color and size clay flowers, and that just framed out the picture. And then there's 3 different thin or narrow trims to go around the image. And under here, here's another one of those trims I was talking about, vintage trims, and that went under and around. So that takes care of those 2 pages. And then here's the middle 2 pages, and I love these pages. I mean, I love them all, but here's 2 more of those adorable images. This is another vintage background piece that was probably either a curtain or a runner. And I framed the photos with lace and Battenberg doilies. And then this has, I took this crochet trim and went around double. This is a different type of small pearl trim to go around the image. And then this trim here that I put around here, and then around the top and the sides, that's another trim from Craft Supplies for You. Here's another one of those doily flowers, and I just made some more flowers out of this trim here. And then there's another doily under there. Here's a couple of little flowers from another trim with the pearls in the middle. And there's another one there. And then you can see the different trims I put This is a very old trim here, and then this one here, and then this trim here I got from Kim, and I put this across this side. I love that. It's beautiful with the pearls. And then on this image, the Battenberg doily, as I said, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 trims highlighting the image, this little girl here. And then here's some flower appliques, different ones I had with the clay flowers. Here's a doily with more appliques here, and I added a dangle to it. And then on the bottom of the dangle, I added the little rhinestone flowers with the, not rhinestone, acrylic flowers with the rhinestone centers. This here came off of a vintage trim that I cut to use as flowers, and then I added these little flower appliques in the middle of that. Here's a trim. This is not vintage, but underneath here you'll see there's the old, the very old trims, and some of them are tattered, and you can see like the little holes like this here, but I just think it adds a beauty and a character to everything when it's in that, condition. And here you can kind of see this trim a little better. Then underneath there is that trim here. And you can see it's not perfect, but you just wouldn't want it to be. And so those are those 2 pages, the middle 2. And then here's the last 2 pages. And this here was just a very old collar that I had a piece of, and I turned this into a dangle. Here's some leaf appliques, and I made a little flower in between just using little doily appliques. This doily, there's a wooden piece here with an acrylic flower. This is the same as this, just a different middle piece. And then here's another one of those doilies, and then I used 2 layers. I think it's just 2. Yeah, 2 layers of this crochet trim to go around the image of this little girl. I used another old trim that went under the Chinese braid. This here is a vintage piece that I used as the background. And then this is the flower page. I just made these flowers out of some, I never know what the material is, but I'm sure you know. It's not tulle, and it's not, I can't think of the name, sorry. But anyways, I made 3 flowers in the blue, and she's got, you can hardly see, but she's got some blue in her, that exact shade of blue in her picture. So I made 3 flowers with different doily centers and different rhinestone centers. And then here's some more of those flowers from the square doilies. And then I put pearls in the middle of that. I just kind of like framed them out. And then this here is it is a vintage trim. This one is not. This is from Craft Supplies for You. And then this here is a very old trim here. And you can see it on this side here. And then I put the Chinese braid around. So that's it. And we're back to the back page. Let me bring it up a little closer. I know there's some shadow. I'm sorry, it's late at night. But anyways, that's my project. This is my latest fabric book. And if you'd like, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And I will be back again soon with another project share. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye for now.